Street Fighter 6 has a bit of everything, a bunch of new gameplay mechanics, amazing new graphics, a free roam for story mode, and even auto combos. Yeah, it's got auto combos and a simplified controller method where special moves are done by a single button. However, don't freak out because we're going to discuss everything Street Fighter 6 in this video. So if you have friends that love Street Fighter, make sure to send this video their way. In fact, even if you have casual friends that kind of know about Street Fighter, still share this video with them. Because like I mentioned earlier, Street Fighter 6 is going to be the easiest Street Fighter game to play in history. Unless you count Puzzle Fighter, which I don't think is quite the same game. And honestly, Puzzle Fighter might be tougher than Street Fighter 6. Alright, so first up, let's talk characters. This initial trailer showcases 6 fighters in total. For the returning characters, we have Ryu, Chun-Li, and Luke. Although keep in mind the entire roster's already been leaked along with their concept art, and we're going to talk about that a bit later in the video. But for now, we're just talking about the trailer. For the new characters, we have Jamie and Kimberly, who's shown at the very end, and she's actually an American fighter. And then finally, there's also that girl who gets danced on by Chun-Li. And that's the only characters that Capcom has willingly shown us so far, but as mentioned earlier, pretty much everyone's already been leaked. I'll put it on screen if I can, but if it's not up there, that means Capcom took this down, so I'll just leave a link instead. However, keep in mind the characters in this image are not guaranteed to be there on day one. Some of them might be DLC. Alright, but next up, let's talk open world, because Street Fighter 6 has a free roam mode where you can go around, challenge people on the street, and even fight the famous characters from the series. And it's very likely the character you play as is customizable. That's not confirmed yet, but they look very generic in the trailer, so I imagine you can change how they look. And on top of fighting people and roaming around, you can also destroy boxes, crates, all that cool stuff, so there's some sort of collecting mechanic to it as well. Out of everything we've seen so far for Street Fighter 6, this new mode looks the least polished, but the game's not coming out until 2023, so it's got a lot of time to look better. So now it's finally time to talk about gameplay. Street Fighter 6 made so many changes, and thankfully there's already a website that tells you everything about the new mechanics and attack types, all that amazing stuff. First up, we have the Drive Impact. This move is armored and blows through your opponent's attacks and can also lead to a full combo. It honestly reminded me a lot of Tekken. However, unlike Tekken, this move is not punishable if blocked. In fact, it looks really good on block. It blows the enemy back. And then for the cherry on top, if you corner the opponent and they try to block this thing, it will wall splat them, which I bet leads to a full combo. That's insane. This move is so powerful. And it's also universal, which means every character in the game can do this, but don't freak out, it does cost meter, so you can't just do it over and over. But even so, what a great defensive option. But next up, we have the parry. That's right, parries are back for every single character, not just Ryu and Akuma and some characters. Everyone can do it just like Third Strike. However, this time it does cost meter, but the good news is if you do the parry correctly, the meter comes back. However, here's the coolest part. You can dash cancel out of the parry. It's referred to as a drive rush, but you can parry and then even if nothing happens, you can dash out of it. However, do be warned, this does cost more meter on top of the initial parry. So the parry costs meter and then dash canceling also costs more meter on top of that. So you can't do it all the time. And what if I told you this mechanic also worked after a special move? Yes, it does. Very similar to an FADC from Street Fighter 4, otherwise known as a focus attack dash cancel. In other words, you can do a special move and then drive rush cancel out of the special move, either on block or on hit to keep the combo going. How sick is that? FADCs are back, and I believe that's a good thing, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, because next up we have the Overdrive. These are pretty much EX moves. They just have a new name. Nothing else to say. They cost some meter, but they do some really cool stuff. And then finally, for the last new mechanic, we have the Drive Rush. This can be done on block to get the opponent off of you. It doesn't do very much damage, but even so, it's going to be great for avoiding annoying 50-50s and mix-ups of that nature. Just get the opponent off of you. Now, what if I told you Street Fighter 6 has multiple supers for each character? Well, it's true. Ryu alone has 3 different supers. And as a result, we know for a fact that every character is going to have at least 2 supers, if not 3. It could be every character gets 3 different supers. And keep in mind, Street Fighter 6 has a meter for just your super. It doesn't do drive impact or parries or any of that stuff. It's just for your super. And you can actually store more than 1 bar, and it carries over to the next round, which means it's very likely some supers cost more bars than others. That's right, baby, we're back to Third Strike. Some supers are 2 bars, some are 1 bar, maybe some are 3 bars. How sick is that going to be? I am speculating a bit, but it's a very educated guess. What we know for now for sure is that there are more than 1 super for every character. And next up, I wanted to to talk about the new controller type. This is pretty much baby's first fighting game. There's an auto combo feature, and every special move can be done by a single button and a direction. I know, I was freaking out too. It's gonna be impossible to jump now, which is the one good thing, right? I hate when people jump all the time. It's gonna be impossible to jump in on me now. I can just DP on reaction. Now, in all seriousness, stuff like this freaks out a lot of veteran fighting game players. They don't like when the games are too simple, because then it undoes all the training and hard work we've done to get good at the video game. However, keep in mind, I'm not a fighting game purist. I think Street Fighter 4 was a bit too hard for most people. I could not get my friends to just play Street Fighter 4 with me. It was too hard for them. But that's not going to be the case with Street Fighter 6, is it? My girlfriend could actually play Street Fighter 6 with me. I'll just give her the basic control system. So when you think about it that way, a simple control scheme is not that big of a deal breaker, but people are wondering, will it be possible and competitive? Do you have to fight someone who can mash an auto combo when you're trying to actually put the work in and do real combos? I don't know. They could separate players based on the control type, but I don't think it's very likely. Could it be banned for competitive? That's more likely, but I still don't think that's going to happen, because I really do believe Capcom wants this to be the Street Fighter game for everybody. They are going for mass appeal with this game. Anybody can play. And I won't lie, from a money standpoint, that's a pretty good idea. Everybody can play your game, everyone's gonna buy your game and keep playing your game and buy the add-ons, the DLC, all that stuff. However, as a player, is it going to be annoying if someone lands a lucky cross-up and then just mashes to get a full combo into super? Yeah, it's gonna be pretty frustrating, especially if it costs me the match. But at the end of the day, all I can do is shrug my shoulders and say, maybe times are changing, and I just gotta accept it. I'm just one guy. I can't stop fighting games from changing. However, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about this new controller layout that makes it very easy for everybody to play? Do you think it's a good idea because now you and all your friends can play more easily, or will it jeopardize what makes fighting games so much fun? And now finally, let's talk about the real-time commentary. This is so sick, and other games have already done it, like Dragon Ball FighterZ, but in those games, it was the characters commentating the match. But for Street Fighter 6, it's professional commentators that are going to be commentating the match in real time with pre-recorded dialogue. It's gonna sound so sick. Now pretty much everyone can pretend they're at EVO or some other big tournament as they're playing. Even if you're average like me, you're gonna feel like a god because the commentators are praising you, and they're professional commentators from real tournaments. I know it may seem gimmicky to a lot of people, but as someone who loves watching tournaments and commentating matches myself, this is a very sick addition, and I'm so happy it's there. And there you have it, everyone. Literally everything we know about Street Fighter 6 so far, and unfortunately, I think it's gonna be a bit before we get anything else. Once again, this game's not coming out until 2023. But even so, Capcom gave us so much information about the game already, including the entire roster that already got leaked. And now it's your turn. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to hear them. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below as well. It really does help my channel out a ton. Then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell. That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time. And as always, stay underdogs.